Good evening, everyone. We are 20 Sides to Every Story, and you are joining us for Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Right before we went online, I see that Homebrew Cafe joined us, so thank you tonight for joining us. We are 5 or 6 episodes. We are six. This is our sixth episodes into the D&D's newest module set in the Dragonlance world on Kryn, and it's been quite exciting. In fact, we're going to get the into the adventure literally mid combat because it went a little late last time, and so I had to cut it off early. But 20 Sides to Every Story is a gaming community, pretty active in all sorts of gaming. TTRPG tends to be the focus, but we also do module gaming. We do PC gaming, and people dabble in things like art and pretty much anything you can think of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our Discord, I highly encourage you to do so. It's active most of the times of the day. It's not overwhelmingly big, but big enough that you'll find people who are great to talk to and and to hang out with. So I encourage you to join it. My name's Corey. I'm the DM for this campaign, and we'll get here in a second to introduce each of our characters and the players behind them. To give you a little update of what's happening in the campaign, the characters have originally come for various reasons, but primarily to celebrate the life of one of their close friends who has passed away. After attending the funeral, signs all pointed to they're in the village of Vogler, or the town of Vogler, where the funeral took place. Signs all pointed to the fact that a war was about to invade the Solemnic Plains, a place that had not yet hit on the continent of Kryn. And while some of our characters knew about war and what had happened in other parts of the continent, the village definitely did not. And so it turns out the Red Dragon Army seems to be right on the verge of trying to invade the homeland of the Knights, the ancient order of the Knights of Solemnia. And Vogler is one of the warning, the canary in the coal mine, so to speak. The characters found themselves dealing with the aftermath of a betrayal, which led to them figuring out that this army was about to descend upon the village. And now they are doing whatever they can to defend the village long enough so that the villagers who are vulnerable and completely untrained, civilian villagers, can escape by boat and float downriver to the capital of the nearby state, I guess. I'm not sure. I think it's the state. That's about 30 miles downriver from where they are. So we are mid-combat as our friends attempt to get out of there. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to, as we shift people around, perfect. We are just going to introduce characters and players real quick. I'll start in the order you're on the screen. This time I will start with David and Cass first.
Yes, I play Cass, who is a non-binary human rogue that is trying to pass themselves off as a scholar. Kind of keeps their distance from the group and from combat at times, and really is just trying to survive this thing while trying to see whom they can trust.
Great. We'll shift over to the left here with Ike and Brallin.
Hi, yes, I'm Isaac. I'm playing Brallin. Brallin is a level 3 Drake Warden Ranger. he is a bit kind of fast to act, slow to think, and he currently is just in a state of he is not really from a village. He grew up with his mom outside of town. So all this village life and whatnot is one thing, but all of a sudden having this war and battles that are happening, it seems a bit overwhelming for him, but he's still trying his best to kind of keep calm and try to keep a cool head.
All right. Miranda.
Sorry, I was figuring out where I muted myself. There's several options there. Okay. Hi, I'm Lauren, and I'm playing Miranda. She is a level 3 sorcerer who is currently all out of spell slots, and so is a bit panicky seeing now, oh, there's more. That's super. So she is from an area that has seen war, so this is not unfamiliar to her, but is very unfortunate, and she's not feeling particularly great about their chances right now. That's her mind space.
All right. Kato.
Hi, I'm Daw. I'm playing Kato, a young squire and champion of a recently returned deity who he has no idea who it is yet. Still trying to figure that out. As for how he's feeling in the current circumstance, he's feeling pretty great. I mean, everyone else next to him is not doing so well. They got belched in fire. But he's feeling pretty confident in his abilities, even though his divine powers may be gone, and his natural skill will take over.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Quinton.
Hi, I'm Alex. Allow me to introduce you to Quinton. I'm petrified. It's no good. But before he was petrified, Quinton was he's maybe one of the younger. I don't know if he's the youngest. We're all pretty young here, but Quinton is he just left his little village where he grew up rather poor with his father, who was a fisherman of humble means. But he kind of devoted himself to the study of the arcane, sort of in out of a desire to do some good in the world. He grew up always listening to his father, who just had this misplaced belief that the gods were just gonna someday come back and just magically make everything better. But Quinton wanted to do something to practical to help out and oppose the forces of evil that maybe had come and plagued the land. And so he had set out and dedicated himself to one day take the tests of high sorcery. So it's kind of how he ended up in the current situation he's in, as he left his little town stumbled upon Miranda on the way and has set out to make that his goal.
Boy. Great. So we'll get into this in just a second. I just want, for those of you in the audience, I want to encourage you. Characters are pretty weak at the moment, and they are still in combat, possibly near the end of combat. We have the XP store. Feel free to, if you have XP, help them out with a player reroll or a group reroll, or really the good stuff comes from sending me a reroll and helping me out in, finishing this module very early. So anyway, so what I need from the players, I'm just going to start initiative over again, so that we start afresh. How this starts is suddenly the exterior wall to the south of you just shatters outward, and you see this 10-foot tall brute, black scale armor everywhere, emerging from inside the building. He has a barrel of fish under one arm, and filling his mouth with a fistful of wriggling fish. Behind him, 2 reptilian soldiers emerge, and the fish still sort of guts spilling out of his mouth. He sort of grunts, and you hear them next, gesturing at you, and the soldiers move forward obediently. So, yeah, we'll get right into this. Boop. Let me roll their initiative.
I love that art. I don't know why it looks so great. He's just,
him?
he's just getting those fish.
Oops. Oh, no. What did I just do? Hey, how'd that happen? Sorry.
Yeah, it's bonus action, bite an eel. You know, that's fine.
Oh, that's him. There he is. He is actually up first.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You guys should try harder. You see him. Who's over here?
That's Cass. That's me.
Okay, let's put your nameplate on so I can see you. And you were not hiding, if I remember correctly.
Ooh,
I don't think you actually used hide last time.
I could not say one way or the other, so we'll
Okay.
say no. I think
Okay.
I probably fired, and then yeah.
I'll give you at least half cover. How's that?
Sounds good.
He attempts to does a 24 hit you.
Oh, it does.
You take 13 piercing as he dropped the barrel of fish, and just as quickly from his back whips out a javelin straight at you, and it hits you straight on. And the 2 draconians look at you, sort of. It was his way of pointing. Kato.
Well, I can't really get this thing in. You know what? I will spend my action to turn this in their direction.
And to their direction. Okay. So is this accurate?
Yes, and then with my movement, I'm going to, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I think I should be okay there and just mount up with my pole arm and just wait for the coming advance.
Okay. Cass.
Oh, Cass really wants to fire that thing, but I'm not going to have the movement to get there to use my fast hands bonus action. So, still going to make my way up this little ledge. And I'm a climber, so I'm hoping that doesn't give me any sort of rough terrain. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I will bonus action dash to try to put the machine between me and the enemy, and hopefully the next turn be able to fire it if no one else gets there.
Okay. Next up is this draconian. Oh, sorry. You know what? Before I do this, you did have 2 fishermen helping you out. Let me just make sure I didn't put them on the back of the initiative.
Helping.
I believe they did most of the hitting last time.
They're doing great.
Yeah. Enough with your smarmy comments. Kato. Yeah, so one of them got to go before you. I think they had, spears. So at the frontmost draconian misses. Cass, that was your turn. Baz, okay. Draconian, it's the 1, 2, 3. So here, Kato, I assume.
Hellbird.
Okay.
I don't think that hits.
Misses. Runs up to you and 2 short swords, a 14 and a 10.
Both will miss.
Okay. This draconian runs up to you as well. I'm assuming there's nothing you can do to stop
Only get
that.
one reaction.
Yep. 4 and a 9, so both miss. 1 round of your petrify ends, Quinton. Anything you're thinking about? I mean,
Oh, it's right there. If only I could get to it, I could fire it off. And I bet it'd be awesome. I guess bet it'd feel so good.
Miranda.
I'm going to run up to the thing and try to fire it.
Okay.
So 5, 10. I think I have 30. Is that right? Is that my range?
1, 2, 3.
I have 30,
4,
yeah.
5. Is that? I think that might
That's
be
30.
35.
Was it 35?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kind of came
5,
at a weird angle.
Yeah, no, I think.
Oh, that's 35. Okay. Can I? Well, what actually needs to be done to fire it? Do I have to like?
There's 3 things: is the actual trigger, which is the last step.
Mhm.
There's lighting it, and there's aiming it. So it has been aimed now.
But it hasn't been lit yet.
I'm gonna say when you re-aimed it, it had to be. It sort of went out. Like those 3. So
can I use my firebolt to light it without, trying to destroy it? Like aiming to not destroy?
Sure. I'm gonna say with disadvantage, but if you hit it and hit above its armor class, then I'll
light it.
Can I interrupt briefly to give some good news? We have been redeemed player rerolls by Galaxian after a whole session of not having them.
Wow,
5 rerolls.
Wonderful. Thank you, Galaxian. We will put them to excellent use.
Galaxian, I also didn't get rerolls last time.
Oh, boo-hoo.
But the house always wins.
All right, let's see.
Unfortunately, that misses.
All right, can I use the player reroll then too?
Although this time, make sure you're doing with disadvantage.
With disadvantage, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. How do I do disadvantage on roll 20?
So in the settings, you could just do it twice if you want, but there's a setting in Beyond 20 that you can use.
Okay, I'll just roll it twice and you can. That's sad. Wow.
Yep, full range. Unfortunately, you're unable to do that. Anything else?
I think I'm. Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Brallin.
All right. So it was not able to be lit, correct?
No.
Yeah. So it's in the first of 3. Yeah, it's in the phase 1 of 3.
Okay.
Brallin, remind me, was the Drake also petrified?
No.
Okay.
No, they passed their.
Right. That's right.
check.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, I'm not going to be able to get there, but I can shoot this guy. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shoot at him.
Which the eastern one or the western one?
I'm going for the ogre.
Oh, the big guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I wasn't zoomed out enough to see.
Okay, and I am I'm gonna do sharpshooter.
Okay. Got it.
It's a big crit right here.
We got a reroll, right? So here we go. Oh,
that misses.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
You got this.
Here we go.
Funny. You got it. All you.
Come on.
Oh.
That also misses.
Shit. Okay. Is this difficult terrain or I don't know, like if he wanted to diagonally start moving across?
So if you move into the building, I'm going to say something, but other than that, no.
Okay.
The building that building is on fire.
Oh, yeah. He would not go into the building if it's on fire.
But if you move by it, it's fine.
Okay. He'll get there then.
Okay.
All right. And then Drake will move up. Which one had you already damaged?
I don't think any has been damaged.
None has been damaged. Okay.
No.
In that case.
Oh, sorry. Let me put him on. Yeah. Turn. Okay. He's on the initiative, so I just remember.
All right. He's going to attempt to trip this guy.
Okay.
So you need a strength.
Is it contested strength?
Athletics versus athletics or acrobatics.
Got it. Okay.
Oh. Beat a 4.
You got some reroll.
I don't know. Do we want to reroll for that?
Well, I guess let's see what he gets first.
No, 16.
Yeah. Okay. That's his action. Okay.
Okay. This fisherman goes for the fisherman here goes for the draconian that's closest to him with a spear. Sorry. Boop. 20 hits him for 2 piercing. Right, that's the one closer to him. This one.
Okay. All reaction. You add an additional d6 acid damage to it. Oh,
Perfect.
6 points.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. The ogre. What would the ogre do? Yeah, I think still with fish guts pouring out of its mouth, reaching down for a fish when he can. Kato, you are going to be the recipient of this javelin, which is a 12, misses you. Kato, it is your turn, though. You have 2 draconians on you.
I'll attack the wounded one.
Okay. 13 misses.
I get rerolls too. I'm going to use it. Just one. There we go.
That definitely hits.
That's not beautiful, but that's okay. 6 points.
6 points. Yep.
Bonus action. Hammer. Boop. That misses.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay. This fisherman runs up and never mind, he doesn't. I was just on the wrong character. Throws another spear. 19 hits him for 2 points damage. Cass, it is your turn.
Cass is going to fire this thing at the ogre.
Okay, it needs to be lit. So you're going to use action or
yes, I will use an action to light it with tinder and
then
a dagger.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Whetstone and dagger, something. Flint.
Okay. So let me do this important work. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's just gonna miss everyone. Oh wait, no, it does. I should go one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it'll hit this one too. You can see where I was drawing, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you first and foremost to roll me a 1d20 for reasons.
For reasons.
Oh.
As I 16. Okay, give me what's this thing? All right. So it expels flames in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in the area must make a DC. So you can also roll for me 5d10.
Beautiful.
Where's my thing? Okay, 19. So this is the Draconian's roll first. Saving throw, dexterity. It's DC 15. He gets a 19, so half of that. So this Draconian to the south of Kato takes 10 points, and then the ogre. Oops, no, sorry. Ah, damn it! What did I just do? I just messed that up. Damn it! Does anyone happen to? The ogre was first, right?
He was.
Yes.
The turner. Okay, I just happened to press the wrong button. Okay, the ogre fails, so the ogre takes. Let me just make sure he doesn't have any weird. Nope. Okay, takes 19 points of damage.
Then I will.
Go ahead.
Then I will bonus action fast hands to start the mechanism over again to start resetting it.
Isn't use action a bonus action?
I thought as an action I could light it, but then as a bonus action,
you have to trigger it.
Oh,
like
I
there's
see.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been light yet.
I thought it just had. I thought it. Okay.
Yeah, it's 3. Aim.
All right.
Light, trigger.
Okay. Then I will hold where I am.
Okay. The Draconian is going to go after the Drake with 2 short sword attacks. 15 first, 19 second.
19 what?
7 piercing.
7 piercing. He poofs and disappears.
Okay. Second one's going for Kato. 22 and 8. 22 is 5 piercing.
Ouch.
Another round of petrify passes. Quinton, do you have anything you want to say?
Right now, Quinton is looking at the fire and thinking about. I wonder if stone can melt. I wonder how hot that flame would have to be for me to melt. If I melted, I guess I'd become molten. I wonder if I'd still have sentience if I was molten.
Miranda.
We can't hear this.
Good
log of Quinton.
Good thoughts, shower thoughts. All right. So Miranda's just gonna step over and for her action do I guess do we need to re-aim it even though it's aiming that way, or
it does
okay.
It does need to be re-aimed every time.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So then I will start the process. I'll re-aim it.
Okay. So it's aimed.
Yes.
Brallin.
Brallin.
Miranda, you're aiming it in the exact same direction it was previously, right?
Yeah, because they're both still up, right? So yeah,
yep, exactly.
Just where it was. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Brallin has a couple of options. So he doesn't want to leave. I think we at this point need to get this going. Let me see. Okay. I guess that he will at this point try to get this going. So he's gonna go ahead and use his action.
Okay.
To
light the fire. Okay, got it. Vogler Fisher is going to go after. Vogler Fisher is going to go 9 misses. It is the ogre's turn. Javelin at Kato. 16, Kato.
Will just miss.
Got it. Kato, it's your turn.
Seeing that pretty much like take off just strings of his hair, he's like, shit. I'm gonna take one step this way. He can attack an attack of opportunity.
Yep. Short sword. 22, 5
And-
piercing.
Sure will work. And I'm scared that he's gonna, blow up and turn me like Quinton. Don't want to have that happen. 2 strikes. 1, 2. I'm gonna
I thought the first one. Yep. Got it.
this guy right here.
Yep.
I will re-roll that 1.
The 25. Got it.
No, the 1.
No.
Everyone heard it. He's rerolling the 25.
What the fuck?
Both miss. No. So the 25 hits.
So, anyways, since it's the second attack that hits, it's just boop. A little late.
That does. The easternmost one was the one who was more wounded, right?
Yes, that's who I've been hitting, and I'm worried he's going to explode soon.
Yep. So each creature within 5 feet. So he goes. Let me do a saving throw. Yep. The guy to his west makes it. Anything else, Kato?
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry. So for those of you who notice, once he lost life, his body sort of shriveled to the ground and started to give off this deep greenish gray gas, which spread out and quickly dissipated before it affected anyone. Vogler Fisherman is going to go after the Draconian with the spear. 8 misses. Cass, it is your turn.
All right, so it's been lit, and it just needs to be
Two of the 3 actions have happened.
okay. So then I will fire again.
Okay, please roll me a 1d20.
A 3.
So close to this being a great battle. You can roll me a 5d10. 5d10, please. Great. Okay, 2 saving throws are in order. The Draconians first. 14. I think I said it was 15, right? DC 15. Yep. So he takes the full 30. Kato, I need a.
Ah, damn it! I should have moved 1 step back.
I need a. Hold on. I need a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
Don't worry, I'm a paladin. Is this a
Come on, man.
disease?
It is not.
Are you sure?
It's very magical.
We're okay. 15.
I mean, do you feel not at ease? Yes, technically, but okay, you're fine. And then, sorry, ogre saving throw. What did I just say? Dexterity. Dexterity save of 0.
That's
He
good.
takes, how much was that? 30? Yep, he takes 30. Oh, he pissed. Cass, anything else? You still have 1 action. Or a bonus action, I guess.
Yeah. I guess I will re-aim it in his direction, even though I suspect he's going to come charging
Okay.
forward.
All right. Petrify, Quinton.
I've seen Kato use divine magic. That seems not possible. My dad always said that he believed that the gods might come back again one day. What if Kato is a god? That must be it.
Hi, Miranda.
All right. So I'm going to light the fire again.
Okay, light the fire. Anything else?
Yep. I'm gonna light the fire and then maybe take a step back over here behind the machine. Just
Okay.
see that I'm kind of out in the open. That's
All right.
it.
Brallin, you could trigger it if you like.
I will. Boom, boom.
Please
roar.
Please roll me a 1d20.
Oh yeah, this gonna be great. I'm actually not the person to ask to ever roll a d20 for anything, but
You are the worst at it.
oh,
That's
okay.
pretty good.
Please roll me a 5d10.
Okay. Oh,
Alright.
30.
So the what do they call this thing? It's called
Boiler Drake?
boiler drake. The boiler drake erupts again. Flame just like while you have been killing enemies, you've also been just lighting the wharf on fire, right? Like everything is in flames around you. With sort of you see as the ogre just starts to like stop paying attention to you and he starts trying to put out the fire in his clothes and his armor and all the grease all over himself, but eventually it just expires and collapses from the pain. There's a lull in the combat as the group of you realize that the worst of it is over. And as you are able to take a little bit of a breather, you look around you and you can see in hiding behind barrels and hiding behind debris and sort of emerging out of smoke-filled buildings, still more villagers are pouring out. And for the audience, the setup was that the characters and the townsfolk had agreed that there's roughly 400 people in the town. 300 had easy. It was easy to figure out what to do with them. There was enough boats to put them on the boat and to let them sail downstream to the capital. However, there was about 100 that they came up with a plan where they would ferry them over to the other side of the river and they'd go on land. And so the attack happened while that ferrying was happening. And so there's the army is still in the town and still destroying. There's just now this brief window of time in which the group of you can get these remaining villagers off of the docks into the water and get yourselves out. Is there anything specific the group of you are doing while this is happening?
I would probably be checking on Quinton to see how he's doing in his petrified state.
Uh-huh.
Currently ranking the entire party from most likely to be a god to least likely to be a god.
Yeah, he's petrified. You do see some brief hints of life in him, and he will be unpetrified in approximately half a minute. So while the half a minute is going on, what are the rest of you doing?
Cass is trying to put pressure on the wound to staunch the bleeding from the ogre spear or javelin that hit them. So soundly just trying to catch their breath.
The two fishermen jump on a boat, very overcrowded boat, but they're on it. You see them grab some other people running towards the docks and pushing them.
Kato pretty much doing similar to what the fishermen are doing, just trying to gather people as much as he can, get them to safety.
I would say Brallin is doing the same.
Okay. Yeah, and so fire, like just this low smoke is hanging over the city as more and more buildings are lit on fire, and you hear the hoots and hollers of this invading army. Quinton, you eventually can feel your toes becoming unpetrified, and you can wiggle them as it moves slowly up your body. The opposite of the unpetrification moves slowly up your body. You are able to move freely again. and see sort of the destruction around you in more clear detail now that you can turn your neck.
He will immediately turn his mind and attention onto important matters and go with the group and try to help anybody that might be around that we could take with us maybe. And
all right. You guys run towards the boat and you hear as you sort of step onto the last boat, which had been waiting for the group of you, the boat pushes off and you hear it behind you. You hear, "Hold the boat!" and a voice rasping from the smoke-shrouded streets. You see a man running towards you through the smoke. At first, unrecognizable because of the fog. But as he gets closer, you see they're clad in the armor of an ironclad regiment mercenary, and he has a horned helmet in his hands. And as he gets closer, you see it's Jaev, Cudgel's lieutenant. Kato, the helmet he is carrying, you clearly recognize. It's the helmet of a Knight of Solemnia. He's running towards you, and clearly trying to get on the boat. You see wounds and blood covered. Hold the boat!
Upon seeing this, I'll jump out the boat and try and meet him.
Okay. Are you helping him onto the boat, basically?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You grab him and you drag him across the gap onto the boat. And he looks up to you and he says, the battle, it went poorly. A few of us escaped. Declan sent me to come back and to make sure no one waited for her. We have to leave now. They're not far behind me. And he urges the fishermen who are sort of propelling your boat to keep moving, which they do gladly. And you are the last boat to leave, and you see from the shore, you see these the Red Dragon army basically slowly move towards the town and lighting everything on fire, and slowly and the few who can who get to the wharfs, you see them start using bowed arranged weapons on the boats that are slower. Also, and try to go for whoever they can pick off. Very, very few casualties from that, as the current quickly picks up and starts pushing you down the boat.
Oh man.
And so this is, you see the town just erupted, and I mean it's like a giant fireball had hit and had struck it. You see ahead of you on a boat, you see Darrett and Mayor Raven, a few locals who you recognize. But behind you, the town is in flames. Amid the columns of smoke rising from the villagers, you see the invaders looting whatever they can. The villagers who are with you, the people for whom Vogler was their homeland, they're the town they were born and the town they were raised in, they don't look away. They're staring at their home being destroyed. And as the boat travels down the river, the flotilla travels down the river, like slowly this dark red sight slowly moves from sight. And the evacuation boats carry everything that remains of Vogler down the Vingard, the river you're on, towards an uncertain sanctuary in Kalaman. Jevev, turns to you and says, "Right, the defense failed. We couldn't wait anymore for the defenders. Becklin sent me. This is her helmet as proof of what she says. I saw her captured. I don't know if she's dead or I don't know what. Becklin and Cudgel, they tried to organize a retreat from the Dragon Army. Yeah, I don't like I'm trying to be optimistic, but this is terrible. Derek can hear the conversation about Becklin, and you can see just steely-eyed on your boat. And you hear him talk to the paddlers who are propelling his boat and trying to get them to slow down so he can get closer. Eventually, the two boats come within reach, and Becklin asks Jeev, please, if I can. Jeev hands the helmet, and Becklin looks at it, recognizes it for exactly what it is, and Derek recognizes it for exactly what it is, and you see sort of all of the life pass from Derek. He slumps down in the boat with the helmet between his knees, his head sort of bowed, staring at the helmet. And those of you close enough can see he's just sobbing. And the mood is incredibly somber as the Vingard River carries the flotilla of boats from Vogler towards Kalaman. A journey that's going to take most of the night, in which many, many people will not sleep. And that is a place where, for those in the audience and for the characters, we will level up to level 4. But I would also take the opportunity for us to role play a little bit while that's going on, just so we're not leaving the audience so early in the
I've lost.
I would say the only thing, well, maybe not. So, there's not much as night falls. There's not much that, it's if it were any other night, you'd describe it as peaceful. It is, you are able to get a long rest. It's not the greatest long rest on Earth. But you are, as you travel the 30, 40 miles downstream, largely propelled by current. You hear the sobs of children. You hear unnatural silence in the sense of people unwilling to talk, sort of the opposite reaction to sobs. and the only thing you'd say that was positive, and maybe this is a stretch, was there is some sort of specific effort to stay together. So boats that are going faster slow down. There's an effort of the slower boats to stay with each other. And so while you might not be right on top of each other, there's, the boats in the middle can see both the boats, all of the boats behind and all the boats in front. So it's this sort of, it's still a little bit of a community. How are the group of you spending the night? What?
I would probably be trying to raise spirits where I could and say, this isn't the end. Like, they've come, but we can regroup. We can mount an offensive to the soldiers and to the civilians, just trying to kind of comfort them and, help where I can.
Make me a quick persuasion check.
All right. Hold on, I'm in the.
Yeah, don't worry. No, don't worry.
Get back to the.
Yep, don't worry. You can just roll me a d20 real quick.
All right, I'll do that. Whisper roll? Never whisper. Type of roll, normal.
You can do it in roll 20 if you want.
Will it just?
Without that.
Yeah, is it just on my character sheet to do it? Sorry, I've been doing it from this for so long.
Are you in roll 20 or D&D Beyond?
I am in D&D Beyond. Oh gosh, I've just gotten the source code. That's not good. Yeah, on D&D Beyond, I was already in the character builder, but in the but here I can do roll 20. Here you go. Yeah.
All right. So it people they offer you polite smiles, but great. you get the feeling that perhaps they're moving their boats a little bit farther away from you.
Yeah. Not helping. Yeah. I tried.
How about the rest of you?
I think Cass would kind of try to curl up a little bit. Again, sort of gingerly maneuvering with the wound they earned, but would pretend to be sleeping, but kind of keeping their ears open.
Okay. Like I would say, inexplicably.
Mm-hmm.
Despite having seen the drake die in front of you, it alofts itself on the back of the boat you're on.
Right, and I think he would definitely be kind of pondering that a bit. I mean, there's a lot that's going on, but once he's played through it enough, maybe some of these things are dawning on him. He begins to think, what is going on with this creature?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it consistently like fighting with us?
Mm-hmm.
And also and then maybe he might even say like out loud, who has the shield? Just also but he is mostly contemplating kind of what is going on with this creature, and maybe he might even go up to a few of you and just ask what you think about it.
Right. Kato, Quinton.
Well, as for your Kato will pretty much be currently in this current point, like looking at the little amulet he's got, kind of just looking at it, contemplating what has transpired this day, and the question of the shoe being brought up and the drake. Well, it's an ally you definitely can have. Probably be needed a lot in the the war to come. And as for the shields, it's right next to you. What are you talking about? You didn't leave it, did you?
I thought Quinton grabbed it because
Yeah.
Brallin dropped it, like kind of threw it to the
He did.
ground in a dramatic
Yeah.
gesture.
You know, I think Quinton, when he was a bit stony at the moment, may have had been a little rounder on his back.
Oh, he has it. Oh. Well, that's good, I guess. Oh, maybe he could figure it out a little bit better than I could.
And one
Go
more
ahead.
thing that he would try to do is noticing that the mood is still slightly dour. The only thing he can think of that would cheer him up in a very sad moment would be to sing a song.
What song do you sing?
I'm not gonna sing it because I have a horrible singing voice, but in the Solemnic tongue, it would probably be a hymn of tragedy, but then rising above it to prepare for the next coming storm.
Okay, make me a performance check. Alright.
you know, there's rerolls out there.
There is one.
There is one. That's my third. You know, it's more to myself than it is to other people. I'm not gonna waste it on a song.
It's the thought that counts. You know,
It's the thought that counts.
Kato's tone deaf, but you know, everyone knows what he's going for.
Where did
Better
you hear
fucking not
this
be
song?
with-
Where did you?
Sorry, my throat's still a little rasp from being stabbed in the neck. Sorry, that's my fault.
I will say that when you're contemplating the amulet, though, specifically, it gives you a lot of comfort, like in the sense of you know what, like you were valiant on the field of battle, like though, and that gives you great comfort, and the amulet just sort of like you feel that in your heart. Quinton, just getting out some knots in your muscles, or
that and probably getting out knots in other people's. Is this
a massage chain?
Is this pre level up
Oh.
or after level up?
So it's probably pre.
Okay, so then he would just be kind of like tending to any of the wounded, bandaging them up and such.
But okay, just generally helping out. Okay, and so the characters, yeah, like I said, by the as we move into chapter 4, the characters would be waking up from a long rest or arising from a long rest with at level 4. I do need to fill my coffee cup, so if you guys want to have a random conversation amongst yourselves, I'll be right back.
What did everyone take?
I guess we could just talk like that, huh? Well,
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I decided I was gonna take a feat. I have a piercer, so that I'm able
Great feat.
to
Awesome feat.
Yeah.
Love it.
roll a damage die. There's so many things that I'm gonna have to keep track of. I'm happy that I'm not drinking for this campaign because it'd be very difficult to
That's
keep
good.
track of all the
That's good.
things that's going on.
It's the other one.
Oh, that's right. I have another feat, huh? We'll be taking the Squire feat.
Joining the order, I see. Wonderful. Always accepting new members.
What did you take, Dawson?
You know, it's very scary on the front line by yourself with an occasional trick that shows up. So I need to get things done before they do me in. So I took Great Weapon Master and Sentinel.
Nice. Well, hopefully I'll be a little bit more useful up close. I took Mobile and Defensive Duelist. So I'll be getting in the scrapping it up.
Sweet.
Wait, Dawson, you didn't actually finish becoming a Knight of Solemnia?
You have no idea how tempted I was, but if there was one frontliner that was with me other than a Drake, yes, I would totally finish that. But like, I'm at a life or death in the front line by myself.
Huh?
But I totally would have taken.
Huh?
But my heart belongs to the Knights of the Roses.
Well,
I
this
would have
makes
totally gone there.
this makes this next part much easier then. Anyway, so is everyone okay with their leveling up? Is there any outstanding issues? Spell slots picked? Because there's about to be a dragon attack. Just kidding. Just because you're all huddled in, 200
In
boats.
one little group, right? Yeah.
In a relatively narrow river. I mean, what?
So I thought that the Lunatari had guidance, but I'm not seeing that in Roll20. So maybe I just was looking at something that was not.
Let me look real quick, and then
What did you take, Alex?
So I chose the Divinely Favored feat. And I chose Spare the Dying. That's why I asked, like, is this pre-level up or after? Because he would absent-mindedly, like, start casting that, not realizing that he probably shouldn't. That shouldn't work. And I don't know. I guess for my spells, I'm just gonna take Shatter and
Shatterskin.
Or are we supposed to not have the
Misty Step.
initiative stuff yet? Is the
technically,
initiative earlier?
yeah.
Okay.
No, you're supposed to have. Sorry, you're supposed to have initiate. You're not supposed to have.
Okay. The initiate's fine. Yeah.
Adept will come here shortly.
Okay. So I think the adept it might be where
Yeah.
the guidance comes in then.
Got it.
Fine.
Yeah. So for the two of you who are pursuing the towers, I will remind you and actually ask you a question. At the end, at the eye, the eye of the not the eye of the world, the eye of this. I'm totally forgetting it.
Night of the Eye.
Yeah, the night of the eye. What eye in the sky? That's what. What you were handed a scroll. Each of you were handed a scroll, and you were told that you needed to deliver that scroll to someone. To Wyhan. And Wyhan happens to live in Kalaman. And so my question is, was there anything in particular you guys did with the scroll?
Probably not yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say not yet either. Just holding on to it until
It was sealed. Would either of you have?
I mean, Quinton definitely would have been tempted and probably like came up with like 13 schemes of how he could break the seal and like reseal it, but he hasn't done that. Tempted, but he hasn't done it.
Yeah, and Miranda definitely wouldn't. She would, follow directions as given and probably have been chiding Quinton to continue to, hold strong and not open it.
Okay. Sorry, just watching. Do you want to get up there? My dog, who has bad back legs, trying to jump on the couch.
Oh.
Go. Or do you want the bed? You choose. Okay, I'm not gonna micromanage you anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna drag you over. I think to. Or were there any other issues with leveling up? Okay. So to the Kalaman map, which you should now be able to see. So dawn breaks on the river, and the walled city of Kalaman begins to rise in the distance, just spreading across the southern shore of a very wide bay. You see ships in the distance sailing to and from the city's walled harbor. Their courses lit by a pair of towering beacons. On the shore ahead, where the Vingard River actually meets Kalaman Bay, the survivors in front of you actually have landed their mismatched boats on the river or on the shore, and you see them taking what supplies they have from the river, and people have already started making fires, started cooking food. By the time the group of you, which are in the back, really have caught up. You see Darrett, for all of you, but largely for Kato. Darrett is fully dressed in the plate mail that was left to him, and you see his countenance, just how he holds himself, has maybe changed a little bit. There's a little bit more serious, somber nature to him, but also even how he stands. You see him standing a little taller, a little bit less gangly, I'd say. And as your boats begin to pull up, you do see the scene of families being reunited as people try to figure out where their neighbors are now. And you see people start to organize themselves. And so your boat lands within distance to Kalaman, and I would say maybe you're roughly a half mile from the city proper, although there are farms that stretch out this way. But it's clear that the villagers are looking. They've taken a spot that's not occupied. They don't want to cause problems to the city. But already the mayor is trying to organize them. And as you land, you see dozens of expectant eyes looking up at you, people who ask you for help for things, and just getting organized and trying to establish some life here in the time that they figure out what next. How are each of you assisting? Where would you gravitate to?
Maybe, I mean, he would almost instantly try to find the mayor and try to tell her that the best course of action is getting within the city walls, not staying on the outskirts of the.
She it's 400 people. They're probably not all going to be able to get into the city. Like, it's not, but she agrees, doing whatever they can, and certainly reaching out to Kalaman. and the leadership there to figure out what they can help with, and vice versa. But there is still sort of the immediate of having to get people tended to, having to get people fed, before a throng of people appear at the gates. She'd rather send in a small group of people, yourselves included, if you're interested, to talk to the city leadership before everyone just lands on the doorstep.
I was going to say that was going to be Cass's suggestion, is if the mayor can kind of establish some sort of order out here, Cass would definitely want to be one of the delegates getting behind those tall, safe walls to speak with whoever's in charge in Kalaman.
Yeah, Miranda too, because she's very concerned that Kalaman's just going to be, the next target, and wants to get systems in place to try to build up defenses and that kind of thing, and also get our people in, obviously, too.
Okay.
I think Quinton would be maybe triaging the wounded, like trying to figure out who needs like immediate care now versus those that maybe could wait a bit, and just trying to set up a process of like prioritizing who needs help.
Anyone else? Kato?
I mean, I also probably would help out with the wounded where I could.
Okay.
I mean, I still have the capability to heal decently enough.
And you are, I will say, as you do that, are you using, like,
I will be using the resource, yes.
Okay. So you definitely are attracting attention as that happens. And Quinton, the same. If you're using divine magic, things like spare the dying, like, and you and I have not talked about a god yet, but we can talk about that. But if you're using spare the dying, and things like that, you are definitely people are like, the fact there's not just one of you, but there's multiple of you now who are channeling divine magic is, I mean, you hear miracle, like you hear like the gods have returned, all this whispering in the crowd.
I think like it's happening, like Quinton is definitely doing that sort of unintentionally, like and he doesn't know where it's coming from. He doesn't, like, he kind of understands that this is divine magic. It's something that he hasn't studied that's like appearing, and as he's hearing words of like miracle and such, he would definitely try to downplay that, be like, no, this is, I've studied, look, I've got a book, and he would try to convince them that this is like arcane magic that he studied or came up with, even though he doesn't understand it. But he it rubs him the wrong way, maybe a little bit, to hear that his magic is being attributed to a god, probably.
Okay. I believe I asked this last time, and I'm pretty sure it was Brallin, but does someone have a higher passive perception than Brallin? Brallin. Okay. So Brallin, as you are going about, and I think all of you are sort of taking into account, there's still a significant portion of the city that has not made it here, right? And you don't know the fate of. So namely the fourth of the city that tried to get away by land. But you do know, Brallin, particularly you, of two individuals who you know left by boat much earlier than everyone, who do not seem to be here. Baracus and Baracus the Younger.
All right.
They are nowhere in sight.
Good. Or bad, depending. Hopefully,
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. He's not going to say anything, but he's definitely looked out for them, almost to see if they survived.
Okay. Yeah. They're nowhere to be found. You don't see them. You don't see any sign of them. Cass, I think you're going about other business when suddenly you very passively recognize, sort of, you overhear two youths, or utes in this case, two youths, and you are very savvy to what is about to happen. There may be 14, 15, 16, that two human youths who are expressing displeasure with someone who seems to have been a former neighbor. And you just know the ploy. They're about to rip this person off. And take advantage of the situation. Is there anything you'd do?
Ooh, I think like does it sound like they're gonna go confront this person, or they already are speaking to the neighbor?
No, they're gonna like steal something or take advantage of this person, and they're sort of plotting out what they're going to do. So you can hear them planning a little bit, and they're talking in coded language, but you see completely through it.
But it's not like thieves can't or anything. It's just
No. It really is like kids being like, but
Okay.
you know the scheme. Like, this is amateurish.
I think Cass would probably just like sidle up behind them and, and barely above a whisper say, you should, if you're going to do something risky, you should choose your moment. And this is not it.
Okay.
This will get you expelled from the group, and then you'll be left alone.
Well, make me an intimidation check, because that sounds to me more intimidating than persuasive.
All right. It was a little creepy. Yeah, I get it. All right.
You listed consequences.
Not very intimidating.
They sort of look at you in that way that 14, 15, and 16-year-olds can look at you and completely dismiss you savagely. And they just sort of laugh. They walk a little bit away, turn back at you, laugh some more, and then run off. Mayor Raven comes to you, the group of you, and Dara is with her. And Mayor Raven says, you would think that, we have enough problems as it is. I'll be frank. I need a delegation to go immediately to the city, because it turns out that Lord Baracus and his son have already gone to the city and offered to on their own behalf, representing Vogler just a few hours ago. So who knows what has already happened? Can I count on you?
Yeah, we don't
Okay,
want
you
them
would count on
representing
us.
us.
I still don't understand why we just all can't show up.
Oh, because
Invasion of some sort.
Would you love an entire mass of 400 people underprepared and suddenly walking up upon your door?
Oh, I mean, if they told me there were lizard men coming to get them, yep, I would let them in.
We need time for the city to help accommodate, but they can. But this is a little more tricky.
And we have shown up. They're aware we're here. Baracus is there. It will do us no help to walk up to their gates, right? There are hurt people. There are people who need to rest, and we're still waiting for the other part of the city to come.
Yes.
Our goal is to move inside the city, no doubt, but we want to do so welcome, not force our ways in.
Brallin, do you remember when we came to Vogler and no one would believe you about what we encountered on the road? We now have 400 pieces of evidence. We now can go in and spread a warning and have the credibility we lacked in Vogler.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. I
If may, I think we might have the most help if we play up that we have people here who have experienced, the war and know what we're up against and that kind of thing, offer help. And of course, we have a lot of people who are, tag alongs, if you would. But I think we can offer something to the city. They might be more willing to take in our refugees at that point.
Well, they're
And
going to be
usually-
coming here next, so it's in their best interest to let us in,
right.
and
Right.
then
Well,
we
yes.
might be able to fight and help them.
Yes, we'll make that very clear. I mean, they'll probably be in denial about it. And no, we're fine. We have walls, but we need to impress upon them that will not do them any good.
But that Baracus, I bet he's selling us out right now.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That little. Yes, definitely.
I punched him. You know that, right? Did you guys know?
Yes, you
must have
punched
been-
him. Yes, it was wonderful. It was
I was
wonderful.
sitting there, listen,
You punched him.
I mean,
Oh, he
was sitting
deserved
up there
it.
just talking his mess, and I just wanted to get up there and sock him right in front of everybody. But
You
Took a
socked
breath.
him in front of everybody.
no, I took a breath and waited for him to get away from the crowd, and then I punched him.
It was beautiful. It really was. But no, he is definitely selling us out. So as much
I
as
can just hear it.
absolutely hate to say this, but we may have to stroke his ego a little bit to get what we want here. So be prepared to not punch him, but to
What?
make him feel important. Men like that like
But
to
he's
feel
not important.
No, he's not important. He's a twerp. But listen, men like that want to feel like they have done something great. So we have to let him believe that he is doing something great, letting all of these poor people into safety.
Cass looks from Brallin to Quinton and kind of looking then at neither of them says, we might be wise to elect a spokesperson for the group, so we're not all talking at once. And
Oh,
uh,
we should elect
given
Kato.
that Miranda,
Or maybe we all.
Miranda,
All at the same time, we all talk randomly. Yeah, you miss.
Miranda,
Yeah, it's gonna be
Miranda
you,
has
definitely.
Oh.
seen the war from from way back
Alright.
where she is from. We have a Kato who represents the knights and apparently has godly magic.
Yeah,
I think
he is a god.
I think
he might be
What?
the best one to. I mean, I've seen what you've done, Kato.
You
We've
have
all
Some
seen
freaky.
this.
You're doing some
I've
freaky stuff.
I've just done my duty. What freaky stuff?
Well, yes. I mean, you are you unaware of
Freaky god stuff.
your magic? Yeah. Well, I mean, you too, Quinton. We need to discuss that later. But yes,
What were you doing?
Helping.
yes, helping with what looks like a bit of divine help. And look, we are
You
going
too?
to frighten these people. When we come to them, these people are scared. They're not going to want to help us. They're going to want to say, "Get away from me," because you're making me a target. So, you two, with some sort of divine power, might be needed to show that someone is on our side.
No, I learned my magic from breaking the seal of the scroll, and I learned the spell that you'll learn later. But Kato's magic.
Quinton!
Well, I learned mine by talking to a statue.
Oh, well, see, this is how the gods talk to people with statues and seals and. Oh, gracious. Okay.
Oh,
It doesn't matter how you got them. The matter is that you have them, right? And
That's true.
everyone has seen you with them. And dare I ask, can you do some sort of demonstration while we're there?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I will help demonstrate that Kato is god adjacent.
All right, and you are.
I'm not a.
Really?
No.
Are you?
You know, there was this famous play once that says if someone says you're a god, you say yes.
Well, just say
I
it.
don't think it's the. I will not say anything.
That's a good tact. Neither confirm nor deny. Leave everyone. I like that. Let's go with that.
However, there's a lot of evidence to presume that I'm not.
I want to show.
And you,
No. You want to show that you are powerful, whether it is some sort of, larger thing, or you yourself are just an incredible talent. You have done amazing things. So,
Just for the record, I don't think you're a god. But if you are later, it was nice I was here on the ground floor of it all. It was not. That might mean something later.
you're very talented. I'm very impressed by all of you young. You're just very impressive young people. But what I'm saying is, you might need to dazzle, or you might need to not dazzle. I don't know.
Subtle.
Read
Be
the
subtle.
room. Yes, you might need to be subtle. You don't know how these people are. I don't know how these people are. We don't know what he said. But just be flexible.
I'm
You can all
assuming
do that.
we're talking about this while we're walking, right? Probably.
Yeah.
All right. So it's about a 2-mile walk from where you landed until up until the gates of the city. And as you get closer, usually as you get near the walls, statues of just titanic soldiers line the walls of the city. These ancient stone knights stare into the distance, daring invaders to dash themselves against defenses that withstood even the cataclysm. A disorganized network of tents and ramshackle structures line the road to the city's nearest gate, where soldiers in blue and yellow uniforms question all who enter. And as you approach, 2 guards stop you and say, "State your business."
I'll
Cass
step forward.
looks at Kato and Miranda and tries to stand, if possible, between the other two and the guard, if at all possible.
Kato
Business,
Livius,
please.
Knight of Solemnia, representative of the city of Vogler.
I see. And what's your business here?
We wish to speak with the leadership in terms for possible accommodations and assistance for the refugees outside of your fair city.
I see. You're not the first today, but I don't make those decisions. Castle Kalaman, and he points. And I mean, it is hard not to see Castle Kalaman. The city is basically at the sea level. Castle Kalaman is atop in the middle of the city, 100-foot cliffs. Nothing compares in size to it. And you can see, even from where you stand now, a path rising, sort of following the cliffs and rising up. Yeah, he says, "You can go."
Oh.
I'll give the appropriate salute and lead the way.
Okay.
Very good.
Would we know how the people of Kalaman, feel about mages, feel about the knights? It seemed like in Vogler, the knights in particular were had fallen out of favor. Would it be the same here?
Not quite the same, but so Kalaman is in a Solamnic province. The area is called Nightland, and it's definitely known for like the city. Its defenses are somewhat legendary. It's also known for the harbor beacons. So the walls and the beacons, which are like lighthouses, magical lighthouses, all of that dates before the cataclysm. And so I'd say the one thing, the one thing regarding the knights specifically, magic is, there's no prohibition, like there's no reason people who use magic would avoid this place, right? Like it's not pro or con. It's definitely still an oddity because mages are rare, right? But not so rare that it would just be like weird. But the thing, the knights are respected. Let me see if I can find a better thing to put on the map for you. Let me see if it shows it over here. I don't think it's enough. What's going on, computer? Definitely not enough. Hold on. Give me one more. Does this have everything? Okay, yeah. I'm going to move you to the map of Kryn real quick to make this point. Or not the map of Kryn, Anselon specifically. Okay, so I'll drag you guys here. So there's Kalaman. Do you see it?
Yep.
This is Solemnia. This distance is almost 300 miles. So the thing about, definitely part of Solemnia, there's no doubt about that. They have just had to develop their own defense forces because there's no way help would come in time ever. And so the city is known as having its own independent militia, independent from the knights, cooperates with the knights, but is still pretty hardy as a protective force. Move you back. Vogler, Kalaman. Are you guys headed straight to the castle, or do you want to do something first?
I think we'd head straight to the castle just because we're very concerned about the Brunies bungling this whole thing.
Yeah, I think straight to the castle. And I would
Absolutely.
say, quick question: when we were rowing over on the boats, would that count as a short rest from our battle, or
It would count as a long rest.
as a long rest? Okay, lovely.
Okay. So you head up, and I think it's sort of, so you came in the trade gate. Sorry. You came in the trade gate over here. Why can't I pick things? Okay, so you came in through this gate there. And you can see on this map sort of where the path leads up to the castle. So the path rising up to the cliffside also is overlooked by these gigantic statues, which match those that are around the city walls. At the path's end, there is another open gate and guards in front of it, and there is state your business.
And I'll kind of nudge, like, Kato.
I'll step forward. I'll pretty much reiterate the same information I gave the previous guards at the previous encampment. Representatives Vogler, Nadia of Solemnia, wishing to speak to leadership for assistance.
I see. Follow the private here, and he points to one of the guards, who sort of formally stands and turns, waiting for you to follow him into the castle. All right. So,
I think as we're walking in, I think Kato. I'm sorry, not Kato. he would look kind of to Kato, and Brallin would kind of have his mouth a bit open, looking up, and kind of just say, I never really thought I'd ever need to come into this city, but now we're here in the castle.
There an issue?
No, I was just saying I never thought I'd be here, is what I'm saying.
I'm also taken aback by it a bit. I have never been this far east. It's truly a sight to behold, especially those walls. If only we could have had those earlier.
I assume you guys are following the guard as you're having this conversation?
Yes.
Okay. So the guard walks through some courtyards, and as you enter a courtyard, you look across it, and you do see a familiar face.
Punch him.
Hey,
You see,
hello.
and he looks up surprised, and he says, "Oh, well, my father has matters well in hand. We'll be sure to send for you and the rest of you fish folk once we've determined what's best for you."
Oh.
Hearing him say this,
Hurry back.
hearing them say this, Chaos is going to move forward, not even acknowledge him.
So it's the guard who looks very confused about what to do. The guard in front of you.
He doesn't speak for us. He has no rank.
But he's really important.
Yeah, happy you made it, bud. It would make sense you made it since you left so early, I guess. Yeah. Don't worry. We got most of the people out.
Kato, make a persuasion check talking to the guard.
I was going to add that Cass is going to cross their arms and very clearly from Bakaris's view would see the hand crossbow not so subtly aimed in his direction.
Okay.
As a intentionally threatening gesture that he should back the fuck up.
We have that one reroll.
We do have the one reroll. I think, you know what, like...
I'm not
go
going to let
ahead
this
on that
fucking
one.
kid win. I don't want it to happen.
I rolled a natural
That's
one
bad.
trying to tie his shoelaces together. I mean, this guy is untouchable.
He is untouchable. Untouchable, but...
The guard looks up at you. Also, make me an intimidation check real quick, since you also did that. Was that just now? Oh, okay. That intimidation check was from before, right?
Yeah.
6? Okay.
Yeah. That was the youths.
You so Kato, as you're trying to convince the guard, and he looks dubious. He's like, you could tell they were here first. They're dressed better, like things like that are all like factoring in his mind of whose side to take. But Cass, as you bring the aim of the crossbow, Buckarus is like, ah! And he sort of jumps to the ground and then looks and sort of very embarrassed, dusts himself off. And he's like, my father's going to hear about this. And you see him slink off. And the guard sort of like between the two of you, very confused what's happening, but without Buckarus there to stop him. He's like, well, I guess we go. And you move forwards. The guard escorts you inside to the council chamber, and you see 8 serious people sitting around a broad table. And it's in the middle of this very spacious hallway. At the table's end is a tall man with pleated, P-L-A-I-T, pleated, right? Pleated blonde hair. No one's gonna help me here.
Plated would be like that would be like braids. If it was plated, it would be he's got it braided.
I think that's what it P-L-A-I-T, right? That's pleated.
Yeah, plated. Yeah, so he's got it in braids.
Okay, sorry. Pleated blonde hair and a velvet vest of blue and gold stands and greets you. Welcome, guests. I'm Governor Kalof Miat. Your leader here has briefed us on the situation in Vogler, his bold defense, and his eagerness to strike back at these invaders. As Miat says this, he nods to a man very near him, a man who you also know, or Baccharis the Elder.
I love these illustrations of these Beckeruses. Like they're just like
Baccharis is staring daggers in the 5 of you. And sorry, Darrett's with you, the 6 of you.
6 of us.
Tell us, the governor continues, are your people still preparing for battle?
So I will do just like an exaggerated curtsy with like all of my skirts to him, you know. Well, I'm sorry, but our people, there was an almost total defeat of our lands. I'm sure Sir Baccharis here would have known that had he stayed back a little longer. We come with the news of the most recent developments, and I have here a knight himself to explain the sad state of affairs. Headed to Kato.
Can I just clarify something? Technically, as far as I'm aware, and you wouldn't technically be a knight or be able to.
I'm a squire.
Right.
I have no rank.
Okay.
I know that. I don't know that he's a squire. I just see him in his armor and I'm calling him a knight. So I'm,
But this could cause some protocol issues, is all I'm saying, if this continues. So you guys could go with it, but you would be aware that you might be outstating yourself.
I mean, it's better than calling him a god, so.
Right, yeah, I didn't say I have a representative of
No,
god.
I'm totally fine with it. I just want to.
I will have a question now. I would know the protocol for rank stuff.
Hmm?
What is Darrett?
Unclear.
Because he's more well-footed than I am.
He is currently by sight very much looks more knightly than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like his progress is very disjointed, right? Like if anything, maybe he was on his way to a field commission, but didn't happen, right? It certainly can't happen through you. So it's unknown.
Upon being gestured to move forward, I will step forward, remove the appropriate helmet to my side, pull him at the side, give a acknowledging bow. May I speak?
But of course, I just asked. How goes the preparations for battle?
We have not prepared any such defense as of yet. We've only just arrived upon your shores, not more than 2 hours ago.
Forgive me, Governor, Bucker says. It seems that without my presence, perhaps they have become confused about what is most important. Please take this in mind as you speak to someone who I believe just arrived in our dear village a matter of days ago.
We speak on behalf of the mayor, the true governor of the now destroyed village of Vogler. This man was a nobleman who lived there, but we represent several factions, including the village, at the elected mayor's behest.
It is questionable if the mayor is even alive, Governor. I encourage you to take what they say with a word of caution.
You're
I
more than
think-
welcome to come and visit us at the camp.
You see Brallin get a little fidgety.
Let me just. I'll step forward, shuffle forward. She is very much alive, and we are sent as representatives, which you are, of course, welcome to join the camp, and you shall see for yourself the destruction which has come. But I am terribly sorry to report, Monsieur Bucharest, that Vogler has been completely engulfed in flames. So those of us who are here, and perhaps those who come on land, are all that remain of the place, are just its people.
I understand, madam. Why do you think I am here if not to encourage the good people of Kalaman to support us in reclaiming Vogler?
There's no. If you would have just maybe if the greatness, whatever, lordship, if you would have maybe stayed and helped us defend, you might have seen that there is no Volga left.
I don't think it would have made a difference.
Well, he would have seen it, is what I'm saying.
What my dear associates mean is that the overwhelming power against us would have been much for anyone, including such an esteemed soldier as yourself. But what? There will be no taking Vogler in any, it will take time to retake Vogler, is what I'm saying. And our fear is why we are here, why we have come, twofold reasons. Number one, obviously, we have all of these people from Vogler who have been now displaced, but maybe more urgently, we are very worried that Kalaman might be the next target. And so we have come to warn you of that.
And we have a lot of injured. We need help.
The Buckarest says, Governor, I mean, you must understand, I come from nobility. It is my duty to lead these people. And the governor, by now in the conversation, you understand that the governor is more savvy than maybe he is portraying, where he's tolerating the back and forth. But the governor interrupts Bucharest at this point and says, please let me speak. And if what you say is true, this is dire news, and my heart goes out to your friends and your families. I hope you can understand our reticence to welcome you all through these gates. These are not normal times. Marshal. And he turns, and someone else at the table is a stern woman wearing armor embellished with the blue and gold colors of Kalaman. She nods and stands, and she says, I am Marshal Vendry, the commander of Kalaman's military forces. I'm afraid your situation is far from unique, and you are not the first village, unfortunately, to have come to our walls. Small villages to the east and south of here have been burned in recent weeks, the survivors fleeing straight here. Vogler is unique as it happens to be the biggest and largest community that's been attacked so far, and the only one with so many survivors, from what I understand. We've sent patrols to look for these armies, and even experienced patrols have been cut down. Some cases with mysterious claw-like gashes in their armor.
We have precious intel we can share.
Indeed, and in fact, already you have given us the clearest information that we've had so far. You are some of the few who have fought these creatures firsthand. My experience goes back for years, but these reptiles, these dragon-like humanoids, these draconians, I have not experienced them in my days of battling raiders from Estwild or the ogres. We have heard the rumors of war in the eastern nations, but never before have we been so concerned that they are here on our doorstep.
We
Go
have
ahead.
people, so many people, the fishermen, the wharf workers, so many in the village fought against these creatures that, as you say, these, well, we are technically even calling them lizard people, but that's probably not the best way of describing them, but it is quite
Exactly what
accurate.
they look like, yeah.
We have many who have fought against them. We can be an asset to your community by
Oh,
training these creatures.
I have no doubt, and just by being close, you are safe. Our patrols still patrol in the areas around the city, not just within its walls. So rest assured that this would be a different decision, most likely, if the army was directly upon us. We understand they are close, and we understand too that the city council makes this decision, not I as the marshal, not the governor here. And when she gestures to 5 of the people in the room, who I'll describe in a bit, but not super relevant at the moment. They are all hill dwarves, though. She says, in the coming hours and days, I would very much like to hear and pick all of your brains about what you know about our enemy. And I stress the word "our." You are not our enemy. I understand that, nor are the people who are there and recovering. We will send aid and food, whatever we can, to assist. And we will send tents as we begin to do what we can to help you and the other communities that are out in similar situations.
We also have about 100 townsfolk on foot traveling on the southern bank of the river, coming as well. So if you do have patrols or anything you could do to help them arrive safely, it would be much
She says, duly noted. I will inform the patrols and make sure that if we can find them and escort them closer to safety here, we will do everything we can. The governor says, the governor now, so that was the marshal, governor. I'll give you names in a second if you don't have them to write down. The governor says, we must discuss privately. Would you please, I ask, please step outside, the group of you, while we come to a decision about what is our immediate response.
Excellent. Can I just say one thing? I don't really know the protocol and whatnot. My name is Brallin. Is that enough for me to speak?
Of course, Brallin. What would you like to say?
Oh, I just want to say, while you're making your decision, just know while we were there, that army, that red army, it came like a wave of fire, is what I'm saying. From what I saw, the defenses of that small town, they were no match against it. It broke it. It cracked it open, and fire rained down on that village and on that people. I hope, while you're making your decision, I hope you're able to just think about the speed of which that army attacked.
Your words are well heard. The speed at which they have taken over one village after another and burnt them to the ground is troublesome indeed. And as they move through this area, we would be very wise to listen to what you say, and we will take that into account.
He bows. He doesn't know. Bows and steps back.
Also, there's something else you might need to know, but I would request a more private audience. I'm kind of like looking pointedly at Baccharis, like not with him in the room.
So the governor would say, there will be time. We are talking about an immediate decision of what to do and what aid to provide your people. Please, it will be just a matter of moments. And she sort of sweeps her hand, and a guard opens the door back to sort of the room you were in immediately before this. And the guard looks at you and says, after you.
One last word, if I may.
Yes.
None of us would be here without the sacrifices of many men and women who decided to stay behind and defend the town. One of those among them was a fellow knight of Slamnia by the name of Becklin Uthvaharden. We would not be here because of her leadership and the leadership of the Ironclad Regiment. May we not belittle their sacrifice. And then he leaves.
Okay. You don't wait for a response?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So you are ushered into the next room. Darrett's with you.
I was going to say, Cass would make sure that Baccharis Senior would also. He's also leaving, correct?
He has not been asked to leave.
Okay.
He is sitting at the table.
He's sitting at the table. So he is at this point. So as we're leaving, if I see Baccharis still sitting there, I think I'm going to turn to Kato and say, you need to show them what you can do and who you are.
He'll nod. He will turn, look towards Baccharis, and command him to leave.
Okay.
I now cast command.
Nice.
What are the components of
I believe it's
command?
just vocal.
It's vocal. Okay.
It is vocal. One word.
Okay.
Leave. Wisdom save.
Wisdom. He got a 17. I'm not.
Damn it!
Yeah, and I don't. I'm not on my Mac. How do I? Is there an easy way to? I know I can screenshot everything. Can I screenshot?
No,
that's.
that's.
I believe you.
Yeah, no, I'll do it later. But yeah. So
12 points of damage.
he looks at you. He looks at you, and he turns to the governor and says, "Governor, this is the sort of disrespect I'm quite used to. These individuals who came in half a day, maybe a day, perhaps they're even with the dragon army. They seem to arrive at the same time.
You're
These
the one who
individuals-
left before the army attacked and arrived here to poison the minds of these assembled folk. If anyone is in league with them, it is you."
The governor sort of now puts her foot down and says, or his foot down and says, "Please, if you will please, my patience is growing thin. Please step out as the council makes a decision. We have taken your words into account. We understand that there is a dispute about the leadership in this room." And she points towards the door. Firm, but as polite as he is going to be.
Cass performs a stiff bow and storms off.
Okay. Darren would have already gone. And is already in the room, probably like fretting that you guys have done all this. And yeah, okay.
I think so as everyone's leaving, like Quinton just is standing there, kind of like eyes kind of blinking, just staring out like a doe, while they are probably like, what the hell is this guy like still standing here? And he just says, "Nobody on this side of the room is happy. Everyone thinks that you're going to make the wrong decision, but I know you're going to make the right decision because you guys are leaders and you want to save your people." And then he just turns and he leaves.
The door shuts behind you very like firmly, let's say. It's not slammed, but the door is shut. And you are in a room with one guard, the six of you, including Darrett, waiting for, and there's benches and there's, a jug with some water and stuff. And as you wait, we're going to take a quick bio break here. Like 5 minutes, and we will be right back. We're not probably going to go on too much longer tonight, but we have some things to, certainly the council's decision, perhaps what Bucharest is up to, and so we'll finish those off tonight. But yeah, just too much coffee. So we will be back in just a few minutes. Probably the most important thing of the night happened, and that I noticed I got a DM reroll, and I don't believe anyone told me about it.
I didn't.
So just to be clear, this Baccharis is now overpowered and will destroy these characters.
We can just kill him, right? Like we could just murder him. I feel like that's an option. That's on the table.
It'll be a whole different story.
It's gonna be unfortunate. He's gonna try to come back to camp. He's gonna fall on a knife, and it's gonna be really sad when he dies.
So sad. And his son too. His son tried to save him, and it just like all went
And
tragically.
then he fell on that same knife. It's really unfortunate.
We are conducting a thorough investigation to get to the bottom of this.
Hi everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. The break chat consisted of trying to kill Bacchus, as you can see. So so the characters they are sitting outside waiting the council's their deliberations while they go on. So anything you guys are doing while you're there? You see Darrett fretting a lot, probably mostly not so much by the council's decision, although he's not a big Buckhurst fan himself. You see him fretting more that protocol wasn't followed, and the governor said leave, and you guys kept talking, and he's just.
I'm gonna go talk to him.
He's not sure you're the role models he needs.
I'm gonna talk to him and shame him a little bit and be like, where were you in there? You could have played a big role in things. Why didn't you say anything? What are you doing? Kind of, I'm disappointed.
To Darrett?
To Darrett. Yeah, he said nothing. He stood back there in silence.
Yeah.
He needs step up, Darrett.
He doesn't know what's going on. So Darrett,
we don't either.
And we do, yeah. And we do. He was a right-hand man to the leadership of this town. What is he doing? I'll be a little nicer, but where were you in there?
Yeah. So the person who raised him is now dead. Handed off armor through someone else, didn't say goodbye. Yeah, no, he's fine. So Dara is he's overly sensitive to your rebuff, right? Like he says, I don't think being abrasive in that room is the way to get their help. Kalaman has always supported us. I think it was just a matter of time until they recognized the right thing to do. Even if that swine is saying otherwise, the right thing to do is to help our people.
I'm sure that they would eventually, maybe, but look, you are in a position to sway them now, or you were, and look, I know you have suffered great loss. I'm not saying that you haven't. I'm just saying that people are going to look to you for leadership. Are you ready for that? Not just them, but your own people. They know who you are. They know who you are.
I will do my best to fulfill my oath. And I take your criticism and I will do better.
I know you will. You will do better. You are a good man who is going to lead his people, and I am not trying to be harsh on you. I'm just, in times like these, you have to step forward. You are, all these people have. Look around. I mean, we're not outside, but look out to them. They are lost. They need someone who is strong. You can be strong.
He nods. He took it much harder than even, however you delivered it, he took it hard that you're rebuffing him for being quiet. Anything else that you guys are up to?
I think Brallin was going to say something, but then after that, he just started looking up to the ceiling and kind of twiddling his thumbs a bit.
There's like a stool that's nearby, like Kato seeing it, like his hands in his face, like, I messed up. Oh, stupid.
there's there's benches and stuff. There's places to sit. It's like a waiting chamber for people who are going to address the council or whatever. So it's comfortable. About a half an hour goes by, and I lost my page. The chamber's door opens again, and most of the council, the hill dwarves included, file past you. They leave the chamber. They don't really even pay you any attention as they file past you. You see from inside, though, the Marshal Vendry. She beckons to you from inside the door. And you see past her, the governor and Lord Baccharis still remain seated at the table. But the Marshal bids that you come in. Do you go in?
Quinton will move in, and as soon as he goes in, big low bow, like exaggerated bow, and he's gonna say, "We were just talking it over, and we're really sorry about our behavior just a moment ago. We're very tired. We've just been through a horrific battle. We're just not exactly ourselves right now, and that may be a factor for why we were the way we were."
The Marshal gives you, mom smile when you've done something wrong, and you're sort of like fessing up to it. Not proud, but like it's about time you recognize that smile. But she thanks you, and she encourages you to walk in. The governor, as you come in, encourages you to take a seat at the table, and there be 5 empty seats, or 6 technically, because the Marshal is standing.
Are we supposed to bow? I just want to make that clear before I keep on doing it.
Yeah, please just sit down. It's
all right. Thank you. I'm confused. I really am, but yes, I'll take a seat. Thank you.
How about in the future, you just don't go first, and if the person in front of you bows, then you bow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brallin. I didn't know you didn't want to bow.
Oh, were you bowed? Oh, I did. I want to. I do. It's fine. I'm saving down. I don't know. Is what I'm saying.
It's okay. It's okay. Just.
You guys get settled at the table, and in a very decisive, a little bit different tone than you heard before. Like there was the deliberative governor, and how willing to hear both sides and willing to hear lots of opinions. But now you hear a very decisive tone, like a very like do not question me tone. And the governor says, "The citizens of Kalaman are prepared to offer your people shelter in the neighborhoods outside the city walls. They're willing to offer you the protection of our soldiers, and while we can spare it, the food from our tables." He folds his hands in front of him and fixes his eyes on each of you in turn and says, oh, sorry, there were 5 chairs. Darrett is still awkwardly standing, just to be. He folds his eyes and fixes on you and looks at all 5 of you. And that's when you notice Darrett's still standing, because he has to sort of turn his neck and look at Darrett. There is a condition, though. Our leaders, as you have noted, are and should be concerned about the threats that are posed by the army that attacked Vogler. We have very little information about this foe. All of the scouts we've sent to assess them have disappeared. On the other hand, you, the 6 of you, And the governor is wise enough now not to conclude Bacchus in this. Like with the hand gestures, specifically says 6 and specifically does not point to Bacchus in that. The character you, however, have faced both this foe and, from what I understand, saved this village and nearly the entire village from the attack. Therefore, in return for Kalaman protecting the village of Vogler and the people who have come here, the leaders request that you, points to the 6 of you again, to report to Marshal Vendry as, let's call you, special operatives in the Kalaman militia.
That sounds good. Yes. Nice.
Do you want to help then?
Indeed. If this threat is as grave as you pose, we need all the information we can get, and it seems that the 6 of you currently have the most of it.
Right. Well, as far as I know, it started when me and Cash here, and another fella. Well, it was.
Should Bacchus go and tell the mayor about what you have promised to the city? Maybe before we discuss things any further.
It's Bacchus looks at you coldly and says, "Perhaps it's wise that I hear what your decision is before I go tell the mayor that an offer was made to you. I wouldn't want to disappoint her if you decide to do something other than what I say."
Would you like us to draft a letter for you?
Are you taking the marshal up on her offer?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I started. That's what I meant.
Yes, go tell. Yes, we'll take her up on the offer, and you can go tell everyone. And yes,
and Bacchus says, and you understand that means that you're swearing yourself to serve Kalaman's military.
Kalaman's military is also a part of the Islamic Empire, so I do serve them already.
We can do more to help the refugees of Vogler working with the Kalaman military than we can by, well, whatever it is you're going to end up.
Bacchus, you said that like there was going to be some kind of catch, or there's some kind of like gotcha at the end. Is there a gotcha?
No, there's no gotcha, but you do realize that swearing yourself to an army means that you are in an army and you take commands.
Well,
that you can't. No,
Very
I'm not
good.
in this army.
All right. Well, then we
Yep.
are all in agreement that everything is fine. You go tell the people that they will have food and accommodation. You can be the hero. Yeah.
He make I don't know what do you think?
Persuasion?
Intimidation?
It's not persuasion.
I think it's intimidation.
Sleight of hand.
Intimidation.
Intimidation. I'm trying to appeal to his
Attack
ego
roll.
though, a little bit. So
Save for Steph.
what do you want me to roll?
Oh, sorry, you were waiting on me. Yeah, you could do a persuasion if you want. Like I didn't hear it that way, so
Not particularly good persuasion.
he says, "I will go and tell the mayor, but I wish to hear the end of this conversation first. But I promise I will hastily travel there as soon as it's done. And once again, the governor and the marshal realize what's going on, and they try to interrupt this as soon as possible. And particularly with him trying to muddy what this means, the marshal is quick to jump in and say, we would only ask that you swear to serve. I just lost it. To serve the military until the threat to the region is over. We would not hold you to that commitment after. There are some benefits, of course. We'll pay each of you 5 gold per week. And you will become esquires of Kalaman. Those who swear will receive free lodging here in the castle. You'll also receive an emblem of the symbol of Kalaman. It is a symbol of your special rank, a little like a lieutenancy. You would be higher than the common soldier, but still lower than, of course, a commander. Does this sound agreeable to you? To each of you? She looked you over.
I will have a question to ask.
Mhm.
How would this impede with my esquire to Solamnia?
Yeah, so different term. It wouldn't be a problem at all. Like the bigger problem would be if something they ordered violated your oath, but it's unlikely since they're in the same side. But
right.
Yeah,
Just want to put it out there just in case.
But there are knights in the militia, the town militia, Kalaman's militia.
I just wanted to make sure because I did not know.
And particularly since you're not a full knight yet, it's actually even easier than it would be. You have than you normally would. Darrett agrees immediately. The rest of you agree, and so the sort of oath is given to each of you in turn. And Darrett, probably I feel like Darrett needs a little bit of the moral high ground versus to Miranda. So Darrett probably goes up to Miranda afterwards and says, it fills my heart to know you made that decision. To know that you want to not only protect my people, but also to counter the threat of the dragon army. I appreciate you, Miranda.
Oh, I appreciate you, my dear. And, of course, I take that very seriously, that it has earned your esteem. Just trying to back off a little bit. I'm not doing well.
The governor is quick once that oath is given to each of you. Turns to Baccharis, and Baccharis, I believe our business is concluded. Perhaps you would deliver the news that the militia will be out to bring your fellow villagers into closer to the city to find places for them and also to provide them with food. Baccharis doesn't really like to be associated with the villagers as like one group, so he's a little miffed by that. But he stands, makes a polite exit to the governor, walks through the door, turns around, gives you all glassy, like cold stares, and then departs. You see Marshal Vendry, as this is going on, ask Darrett to come to her office on the second floor of Castle Kalaman when they're ready, when he is ready to learn more about the duties. I guess technically she says that to all of you. So sorry, I'll back up there. So she says, I'll have a guard show you around very quickly. And to show you out, please familiarize yourself with the city. And take care of whatever needs you may have. Once you're ready to begin your service proper, you can come back and report to me. And she gives you directions to her office. And so I think that's where we'll leave it. You guys now are properly enlisted in a place that will be a little bit of a new home for you for a bit. As you do the best you can and figure out what you can do about this threat and help even more people, and not just the villagers. So with that, we're going to say goodnight for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. There's 20 sides to every story. If you haven't gotten a chance to join our Discord, please do so. Additionally, 20 Sides has a sister channel now, 20 Sides Gaming, here on Twitch, where we are separating some of the non-TTRPG gaming that we do onto that channel. So I encourage you to give that one a follow to check out what they are up to at any time. Alex, is there anything going on this week on that channel?
Not this week. Next Tuesday we'll be continuing the Temple of Elemental Evil playthrough, but I think at the end of the month, Joe T and I will be doing probably another one of those Dark Pictures anthology games. There was a new one that came out, so we might play that. So
okay, cool. It's a new channel. Please give it a follow, and as we get it off the ground. And we will be back next Wednesday with same time, same channel. And with that, I think I will say goodnight. So thank you guys, everyone. Thank you for all your support, and we will see you soon.
good night.
Good night.